Hey, what's up guys? This is Joe from Analog Archive back with another vinyl video. Today's video is going to be a contest entry for Michael from Noted and Archived. He has recently reached 500 subscribers at the time of when I'm making this video. It's been a few weeks since he announced the contest. He's now closer to 800 subscribers, so it's great to see your channel growing. Michael, you definitely deserve the subscribers that you're getting, and have really enjoyed watching your videos over the course of the last 5 or 6 months, especially the videos that you do with Mazzy and with Michael 45 RPM audio file. But just enjoy your content overall, the wide range of music that you show off, very informative videos. So really glad to be able to jump in on your contest, and so we'll get started with that. So he asked us 5 questions. The first one was to show off an unexpected record that you have discovered. So either it's a blind buy or something that you just did not have prior knowledge. And this was a record that I had picked up over the summer. And I was familiar with the personnel that was on the album, but was not familiar with this record at all until after I got it. And it's the Jazz Tet at Birdhouse. So this was the group that Art Farmer and Benny Golson put together in, I believe it was 1959, and it lasted until the early 60s, like 62, 63. There was a handful of records. It says in the liner notes that this was the 4th album that was part of this, under this group title, the Jazz Tet. It's got Art Farmer on the trumpet and the flugelhorn. So starting in the late 50s, he started switching to the flugelhorn. So he's on both of them on this one. Benny Golson is on tenor sax. Thomas McIntosh is on trombone. Cedar Walton is on piano, another familiar name when I first stumbled upon this record. Thomas Williams on bass, and then Albert Heath is on the drums, another one of the Heath brothers is on the drums. And what kind of caught my eye was not only the cover, this just very really great colors that were used on this cover. Really enjoy kind of what was shown, Art Farmer and Benny Golson being on it. And again, it was something I was familiar with. Art Farmer, I was familiar with Benny Golson, but I was not familiar with this group or what this album was like. I've said in my other videos, I really enjoy live jazz albums, and this was live at Birdhouse, which was a club in Chicago. In May 1961 was when this was recorded. This was also my first record on the Argo label. And this was I think this is this is a stereo copy that I picked up. It was $25, so it was worth the blind buy. It sounds really great recording, and the songs were great, so sound really good. And it's a combination of a few tunes are a few of the tracks are songs that were written by the artists that are on the album, and then there was a few standards. Round Midnight is what it's called on this one, by obviously Thelonious Monk. So a great one, great kind of blind buy there. The second question was to show 2 albums with the greatest polarity, so a really wide range of genres. For the most part, I haven't really been collecting for very long, just a few years, and in that time I've kind of quickly found the type of music that I like, and it's what I've really found is that the music that I enjoy listening to, like in the car, on the radio, things like that, is much different than what I want to collect on vinyl. And so I've kind of, with the records that I'm going to show, are a very wide range of different time periods of my collecting records. This was a very early record that I picked up. This is Van Halen, Women and Children First. And I don't really honestly know why I picked this up. Not that it's not a good album. It sounds great. It's a great kind of hard rock, early 80s album. I'm not sure if it has the year of when this, 1980 was when this was released, but I think I just really liked the cover, and it was only $8, and I was looking to kind of get some Van Halen in my collection, and so I decided to pick this one up, and really great, hard rock, just 80s rock kind of album. And then on the other end, this was one that I picked up. This was actually a few years ago as well. This is Chopin. This is her name is, I might butcher the name, Guilherme Novaes. She's a Brazilian pianist from the 50s and 60s. She was very popular for covering a lot of Chopin, and her interpretations of his composition and his work is very, she's very well regarded in that kind of situation. And this is nocturnes, and so this was Chopin's work that was as nocturnes, kind of at night. You listen to this type of kind of classical music at night, so it's very slow, very kind of silky piano playing, and a really enjoyable album, but much different than obviously the hard rock Van Halen, but just some great classical music. I really do enjoy classical music. The piano was one of the first instruments that I learned to play as a child, and have really always gravitated towards the piano and classical music, and so I was really glad to be able to get that. For the third question, it was to show an album that you might be embarrassed to own. I'm not really sure if I'm embarrassed to own this one. I had a hard time really with this question, being able to kind of come up with something. Because as Michael, you had said in your own video, if it's something that you enjoy, that's all that really matters. It doesn't really matter what other people think of that. And so this one is just a funny album. And I just, when I pulled it out, I remember what the situation was when I got it. So this is Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. The A side is this is a 12-inch single, and so the A side is just the kind of the radio version, or the song that you normally would hear, and then the B side is just the instrumental, so there's no singing to it. And I remember I picked this up about 2 years ago at Christmas time, and I don't really know why I picked this up. It's a great song, but the reason why I went towards this 12-inch single version versus just like a 45, I'm not really sure, but an enjoyable song, but one that's very kind of stands out in my collection, not having a lot of that kind of real 80s pop stuff. So there's that. And then for number 4, show your most listened to album, and then also show one that you've been listening to the most recently. And so I've shown this one off in other videos before. My go-to really of all time is Jim Croce. You Don't Mess Around with Jim. I've always loved the cover. I love Jim Croce. He's my favorite folk artist. The songs that he wrote, in really the short time that he was kind of alive, he only had a handful of years where he had music that he was able to actually record. This is probably his most famous album, but again, he really only had like three albums that came out during his lifetime, and the rest of them were just kind of compilation albums. But just a really great go-to album. I enjoy all the songs that are on this album. I really can't say that about many albums that I own. Really, from the start to the end, it's a really great story that he's telling through the songs. Great guitar playing, not just by him, but also by his it's actually really the lead guitar, but his assistant, Maury Mulheason, who was, I believe, only in his maybe early 20s when this album came out, maybe 23 or so. But just amazing guitar work on this great acoustic. And then one that I've been listening to a lot recently, this is a more recent pickup, and I have just really enjoyed listening to this over and over again. The Waiting Game, Tina Brooks. This was part of the Tone Poet series that this one came out in the first week of not July of January of this year. This was one that was supposed to come out around Thanksgiving, and then it got pushed into like the second week of December, and then it finally got pushed once again into, I believe it came out on the it was like the 9th, I want to say, something like that, the 8th or the 9th of January. But really great session. This was, I believe this one was previously not on vinyl. I might be wrong. Yeah, I think this one, yeah, this was the one that was previously not on vinyl. This was just a CD that came out in like 1999. So this was the first time that it's on vinyl. And really, I enjoy Tina Brooks. Unfortunately, he didn't really get a chance to really record a lot of music, but he was only alive for one Blue Note album, True Blue, to come out, and the rest of them came out after he unfortunately, well, actually, I don't know if he had passed away. Oh, it's, yeah, 1974 he passed away, so yeah, it would have been before any of the other albums, like, what are some other ones? I'm blanking on the other ones. I can't think of what they are now, but his other Blue Note ones. But what I really enjoyed on this was that it has Johnny Cole on trumpet. In one of my more recent videos where I did the Blue Note 4100 series review on Little Johnny C, that was the only Johnny Cole's led Blue Note session, and really enjoy seeing him on this. He was also someone that did not record a lot, and just a really great lineup. Kenny Drew on the piano, Wilbur Ware on the bass, and then Philly Joe Jones on the drums, along with Tina Brooks, obviously, on tenor sax. So really great, more recent album. The Tone Poets are always great, always consistent, and really enjoyed being able to pick this one up. And then the last question was, what was the first channel that you saw in the VC? So what were some early videos, early channels? The first channel that really got me into the vinyl community was Dylan, Noble Records. Really enjoyed his videos on his psych. Psych is his kind of main lane, and so really enjoyed learning about the psych genre, which at the time was something that I was interested in learning more about, and kind of understanding what are some good records to kind of get a psych collection kind of started. And then from there, Chris, Tunes from the Man Cave, was the one that got me into jazz. Really consistently love his videos, love the jazz that he shows off. And then the second part of that question was the most recently subbed channel. So I have two. One of them I've been following for maybe a few months. The other one is it's only been maybe a few weeks. The one that I've been enjoying recently, that I've liked for the last few months, and he actually just started maybe 6 months ago at most, was Andy from Next Play Records. Really enjoy his content. He's into jazz as well, and really enjoy the records that he shows off, him going to the record stores, and just his persona in his videos is really very kind of cool to see, very laid back. He really enjoys what he shows off, and it makes the videos very enjoyable. The content is really great, and so I've really enjoyed his content. And then one that I've been watching more recently is a channel that's called Jazz Blues Japan. He has around 200 subscribers. I think he's been making videos for a while. His name is Takashi. He lives in Japan, and he shows a lot of Blue Note kind of jazz records, just jazz really in general, but he does a lot more like reviews, talking about the history of how Japan got into the Blue Note, the Prestige catalog in kind of, especially starting in the 70s. So just a really cool take on that from somebody that lives in Japan, that has experienced what it was like to kind of come upon a lot of this jazz over the years. just seeing his opinion and his take on it is kind of cool. So I've really enjoyed watching his channel as well. So I think that's it for this video. Again, congratulations, Michael, on the 500 subscribers and kind of beyond at this point. Um, and yeah, I really enjoyed kind of going through and answering these questions. There were some unique questions, but ones that were fun to answer. So really appreciate you making this contest. And that's it again for this one. And I will see you guys in the next vinyl video. Bye.